Good morning, guys. Morning, Mark, Al, Dave, Danny. How you doing? Good morning, everybody. Just want to point out to everybody, let's get it out the way. I had 3 losing trades yesterday. First time that's happened in a long time, to be fair. But yesterday, like I was looking back on it yesterday, just trying to be completely honest, right? Because most people just hide from the losses, don't they? But this is trading. You can't just expect your account just to keep going up and up and up every single week, every month. It doesn't happen like that. Like in August, I lost money in August all month. I was down about... At one point, I was down about 5 or 6%. And then I managed to get it back, and I was slightly up. And then I went back down to, I think I was like finished just slightly above minus 2% for August. This is trading. So, I think probably with how I started off, I wished it would have started the other way around, you know what I mean? Where I was taking losses and then I've moved it up. But I moved it up and then I've moved it back. So, but I am just going to be completely honest about it, right? It is what it is. Unless you've got, unless you're either the best trader in the world, or you've got one of these dodgy broker logins, you do lose money when you're trading. It happens. So since Friday, I haven't really done very well. I've given all my winnings back, really, and I could go negative, you know, today or to won anything. So I think I've gone for like 12 or 14 days before where, you know, like loss, scratch, break even, loss, break even, scratch. So you have to expect it, really, and it can happen at any point. So it's happened to me yesterday. I haven't had a very good time since Friday. I don't think I would have done anything different though, right? So this is the problem with yesterday, and I'll talk you through why I took the extra trade yesterday. It was all about day type, really, for me. I was short in here. I think you guys saw when I got short in here on this rotation. It was either on this one or this one. I think it was this one. Went on side in it. Didn't move my stop to break even, right? Because tried to be disciplined, and that is part of my strategy. I don't want to move my stop to break even before I get 2R in profit. Why do I say that? Well, in any, you know, like you could argue, looking back on it, right, you could argue that we've bottomed here. I'm short in here, right? You could argue that we've bottomed here. This is a bottoming formation, but I can take you back to the other Friday when we had a big trending sort of session out of balance. We popped up just before the US session and then rolled over and did another 7 or 8R downwards. And what I'd done is that Friday I'd scalped out of it too early, thinking that this was going to fully reverse. And in the afternoon session, I was like 9R up. I think that was my first live trade on the challenge, and it will look exactly the same as this. I thought to myself when I saw these pins here, we're way more likely to roll over to the downside, even though it looked like a bottom was in. I thought that these guys here, we were going to stop these guys out and hunt their stops and go down. Now, it didn't happen like that. I ended up getting stopped out on this trade here for 1R loss. But then I got in here at 150. Straight away, I just thought that this here, you know, we were turning back down. We'd also got back underneath this pivot here, which I thought, right, on this candle here, I thought that this here was the trap, and we were going to go down and challenge these two lows here. It didn't happen. But the day type and the volatility on the day got me in again. One more time. I thought I'll have one more punt at it. And it probably was a punt, really, now looking back on it. But it was a valid entry in my strategy. And I then got in at this point here at 3 o'clock and got stopped out. Now, there was another entry, right? And then I kept myself out of that one. This entry here. This point. This one. And my stop would have been there. And I would have been stopped out again. And I call these days, right? These are the days that break people's strategies, right? So what do? Well, I don't do nothing. We just carry on with it regardless, because there'll be so many people here yesterday who will be trading my type of strategy, who will give it up after Friday, after Monday, after Tuesday, after Wednesday of swallowing losses one after the other. They will give up. move to a different strategy. They will try and be trading more of a reversal strategy where they're trying to buy these lows. And I know from my experience that I'm going to do nothing, and it's going to pay me again, definitely. And I've just got to do nothing, possibly go under my 3k, possibly go down to 28.50 even. But I know just round the corner from these losses is going to be my winning sequences that are going to pull me back again. And it wouldn't surprise me that if by the end of October I'm back to where I was, plus more, than where we've just been, up to 3-4. So it sucks, and it does. You do feel like, I feel like more of a dick, to be honest with you, because I'm on here and it's happening live. But this is. I expected this to happen when I signed up to this. I didn't think that I was just going to come on here and win, and my account would just go up in a straight line, because I know it doesn't. So it's par for the course. It is what it is. Would I have changed anything about how I executed yesterday? Maybe the third one I would change, but nothing else about it. You know, if I move my stop to break even in this area too quickly, on the days when it really moves and rolls over and we get the big day, I can guarantee that the day I do that, it will ping me out for break even and then go without me. So my execution was spot on yesterday. It was. There's nothing to be disappointed about it from an execution side. I don't think I could have done anything different. I've lost money, and I look like an idiot. But my execution was spot on, right? It was. I would be happy with that on any other day. It just, the market did not agree with what I was trying to do. Now you could argue that, oh well, you were shorting below 15k, so we were highly probable to, you know, for it to be a trap and us to go back above 15k. I aren't so sure. If you looked at them daily charts yesterday, we looked like it was going to go. Now, has this been a stick save? Have some big banks come in and pushed us back above 15k? I did say to you that 15k was massively important to the market. And, you know, surprise, surprise, look where we are again. We've been saved, haven't we? So this is the mental aspect, guys. This is it. This is real trading. So, you know, like, this is it. And it's one of them. I hope that this is what people can see, rather than all the freaking bullshit that you see on YouTube where people are just pretending that they're winning. I've watched a video this morning where there's some bald guy. His channel's called The Moving Average, right? And it's another affiliation thing where he's saying, like, you can earn like $500 a day from trading and all this stuff by doing this, and this. It never works like that. It doesn't work like that. This is real trading. I spoke to a big trader, well, not a friend, but I suggest that I've been speaking to him. I feel like he's a friend, but maybe, you know, like, he probably wouldn't count me as a friend. So, but an acquaintance that I've been getting to know just lately, he's down massively. He's had a shit couple of weeks. He's down huge. Like, the numbers that he was throwing to me last night would make me sick. Really, I don't know if it's his personal capital or not, but if it was my personal capital, I would be very tough to handle it. So he speaks very openly about his losses. He's a professional trader. He speaks very openly to me about his losses, how much he's lost, how much he's down, stuff like that. This is it. You've just got to soak it up and be honest about it. It is not a bed of roses, is it, trading? You can't just jump on here and, like, make $500 a day or $100 a day, or it doesn't work like that. You've got to be prepared to swallow the losses that you are, you know, like, you're getting into a business where you can have losses 10 in a row. And, you know, if you're risking 2% per trade like I am, you can be 20% down in a heartbeat, and that's fine. That you've got to be able to take that. They will come your way. So, morning everybody. Aaron, you were tilting like a motherfucker yesterday, were you? It was a tough day yesterday, was Aaron? It really was. It caught me out. I was, you know, big reversal day, wasn't it? A huge reversal day through a major level. I will say this though about my strategy, right? What I've noticed about my strategy at the moment is it tends to be all or nothing. What I mean by this is that the volatility in my results is big at the moment. It's like I get a 6R winner and then I get 5 losers in a row. So it's like you're taking 4 steps forward in one trade and then 3 steps back in 3 or 4 trades. And about 6 months ago, probably a year ago to 6 months ago, this is what I'm saying about the range that the DAX in. It's all sort of changed with my strategy, and I'm not going to lie to you, it's been very difficult to deal with this type of the emotion, the stress that involves in going 4 steps forward and then going 3.5 steps back. It's very tough to deal with from a mental side of it. And if you just miss that one big day, you are fucked. Because the big day pays for the loser. Now, if you miss that big day, this is why I was saying to you, I was really disappointed about missing that 9R winner. I was devastated about that because why? And at the time, you probably thought, why would you be upset if you've made 5R? But I know my strategy, right? And I know that by not holding for that full 9R, these losing sequences, they were round the corner and they were going to come back and haunt me. So I was just trying to be be completely honest about why I wasn't happy that I didn't make more money on the day when I should have. And it's because at the moment I know that something's changed with my strategy. And so what would happen before is I would make more like 1 and 2R winners, where you'd get the direction right. The market would go down and it would close at 9 p.m. and I would be like up like 1R or 1.5R, and the volatility of the move wouldn't. It was different. How the market was acting was there was more winning trades, but the winners weren't as big, and there was less losing trades. Now at the moment, with how the DAX is just moving in this range, I'm seeing way more losing trades, but then when I win, my winners are way bigger. And from a mental perspective, it's very, very tough to deal with. I'm finding it difficult, very difficult, because if you don't stay with your winners to the very end and maximise them for every single penny that they're worth, the amount of losers that are just round the corner are going to undo you very quickly. So that I just want to point that out to everybody. So the other week when I'm saying to you, yes, I've had a decent winning day, but I've done fucking terrible. It's because I know this. I know my strategy, and I know that I'd messed up. Now, if I would have hung on to that 9R today, I would still be at like 3,250 quid, even though I'd taken these losers. Now I aren't, because I messed up on that big winner. Sorry guys, been a bit poorly over the last couple of days as well, which hasn't helped. Just got a watery eye, sorry. Just clear my throat. Did a COVID test yesterday, come back negative, but I've ordered a PCR one now because I don't feel very good, which doesn't help when you're getting your arse handed to you. But yeah, I stick to it, Mark, completely. If the problem that I've got, Mark, is as soon as I try and adopt it to the current market context, it changes again, and I end up costing myself money and always trying to sort of fit it to the new curve, which I can't see. But I know by sticking to my strategy, eventually it pays me. Now I've been in some big, decent sized drawdowns. I have. It's just how I trade, and that's it really. So I get, I just find it so difficult. Curve fitting for me, I always seem to just slightly do it at the wrong time. But this is it, guys, right? I'm just being completely honest with you. I aren't I'm not going to lie, I'm not the world's best trader. Also try and do is manage my risk every day, and hope that I can jump on a big day and it pays for my losers. Now, I've backtested my strategy for years. I've traded it now for, I'd say, about 4.5 years in total. I do go in some big drawdowns. I do. It happens. It's horrible. But we'll say this: the last year, since January, the DAX for me has been difficult, and this is what's been happening. It's like one way, and that's it. There's none of the. How can I explain it to you? probably what I'll do is on Friday I'll pick you a day out, and I'll show you an entry and an exit. What I would call a normal day on my strategy. Okay, like a normal day, and what I mean by that is we get an entry, we get an exit. It sort of goes in my favour, and it sort of goes, but it's not like a full on trend day. But I still end up making money at the end of the day. It's like an unvolatile trend type day, which you get a lot of them on the DAX. There was loads of them over the last 2 or 3 years. This year, it's like the day type's either wham in a straight line, or it's like wham up and you get stopped out. It's like there's no in between. There's no normal trend, I call it. You can see it on the daily chart. If you pull up a daily chart, you can see exactly what I mean by it. When the market's trending in a favourable direction, it tends to be my win rate improves. My winners aren't as big, but I find that way more easy to deal with from a trading perspective, from my own mental and sort of psychological way of dealing with it, because it's just nicer, isn't it? Like, you're not lose, big win. You're like win, lose, win, like that sort of ratio. With the same strategy, by the way. It's exactly the same entry and exit criteria. Nothing's changed. But the market's changed. That's what's changed. The volatility of the market and the range that we're in, and the volatility that we're seeing at the high and low of that range. The big volatility at the bottom, it dries up at the top. It's just how it is. My strategy is making money still. This year I am up. So I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to change anything. But it just wanted to come on here and explain to you, basically. But like literally today, I could get one big, huge day. If I hold it till 9, and I could get like at 2% risk per trade, I could be up like 10% or 12% again. So it's just one of them. It is what it is the GIF, the YouTube GIF on it, but it is what it is, and it sucks. But I'm just trying to completely explain to everybody, right? Mechanical, good morning, pal. DAX has been crap for breakouts for most of this year. Yeah, tell me about it. How about your day's bias? Do you stick with your morning prep plan, or are you okay to adjust it? No, I don't do any of that. It's just long above the IB and short below Lawrence for me. That sets my bias completely. Your small IB, go with the breakout. Big IB into ATR, I'd try and keep away from it. In a nutshell, Lawrence, that's it basically. Mark Wogan. However, I try to adopt as markets change, or at least I think they do. Well, yeah, you see, that's what I do. Read each day as it comes. Right, so trade what's in front of you, basically, Mark. That's it. That is it in a nutshell. Trade what's in front of you. How much do you make, Mark? I'm interested. What's your current sort of strike rate? What's your percentage that you're making every month or week? Do you run it like that? Do you do it like percentages of total account, or let me know what you're doing? I'm interested. How do you run it? Do you pay yourself a wage? Do you try and leverage the money that you're making up every month? Do you leverage it up and roll it up and take your money out once a quarter or half a year or a full year? Because that's what they do in prop, right? I was speaking to my mate. I say he's my mate. So I think he's my mate. I was speaking to a friend the other day about this, and he was saying that in certain props that they roll it up all year, so you don't see a wage. You're not getting a wage every week or month. You're getting it at the end of every year. Now that's pretty. Now, why would they do that? Obviously, it's so they can leverage their earnings up all year, isn't it? So that's everything they take out is going to mean less future leverage over the course of the year. So if you're making money, you want to roll it up, don't you? So you can make more and more and more. So that's what they do, apparently. So that's something that you have to take into account as well in prop, isn't it? Like, you're not going to be able to get a wage out of it. That's awesome. That is, that strike rate, 66 and 70%. That is fantastic. What sort of risk reward are you looking at with that though? Dave, you take right. Dave's withdrawing every quarter. Dave Seeney in the house, love it. See, you guys have got a way higher strike rate than me, way higher. I'm not gonna lie, that's a lot higher than mine. So it just goes to show, right, that if you're doing a discretionary type point and click trading, you can get a higher strike rate. I imagine. For me, I've never seen a mechanical trading system that gives you that strike rate. I don't know if Mechanical can point that out. Are you still listing mechanical trading systems? I think Dave and Mark are discretionary traders, right? And they're saying that their win rates are 66 and 70%. So is there any mechanical trading systems out there that will give you that strike rate? I'm doubtful. I'm pretty doubtful. So you're taking one-to-ones. One-to-one ratios if you're seeing a quick scalp up. Right, okay. I like that. So let's get into it, right, Mark? Let's get into what... Because the nitty-gritty for me, and obviously this is what I'm trying to help other people with in this room... I'm not saying, would you have traded the DAX down here yesterday? Yes, okay. And I know you're not on here with me at the moment, but let's just have a look at the DAX yesterday. And what I want Mark to do is just point out to everybody. So go into the chat. Go into the chat right now. Mark's going to answer, and Dave as well. You can answer this, Dave, because it's discretionary, and I just want to see your read on this market. Now, when I saw this yesterday, this roof test in here, as I would call it, I think Mark calls it that too. This level test here, like so. Right. Now, when I saw this happen on the 1 minute time frame, I was looking at this and I thought, right, this is definitely what I would call a short-term bottom formation. Right. Now, as you can see, right, the market's headed lower. We drove lower, and at this point here, I would suggest this point, when we spring back up here and take this low, and we get this consolidation, and we don't really push down anymore, and we get this big leg through the roof. On this retest here, if you're a discretionary trader, just because I'm wondering what, like, you don't have to give me the exact criteria, but are you waiting for this level to get hit? How would everybody trade this in the room? I'm interested. Are you waiting for the exact level to get hit, which it doesn't on this candle here, it doesn't on this candle here, and then on this candle here we close into it? Are you just hitting that blind with a 10 pip stop, or are you waiting to at least see some sort of green candle and a close back through it, and then you'd put your stop beneath that low? Would you have traded that, guys? How would you have traded it different? And if so, point that out. So would you have just hit it blind? Would you have waited for the exact previous resistance, now support, to get hit? Are you waiting for at least a green candle to see if your bias looks to be like it could be correct? And are you just hitting that one-to-one and taking one-to-one profits on it? Or are you like trying to hold? Let me know what you're doing, because I'm hoping that you might have taken that one there. Am I right? Morning out, Angela. Wait for price action. What's my strike rate? My strike rate is actually a lot lower than these guys, but I have a decent overall profit factor. But I trade more of a mechanical strategy. You scalped it long from 14.810. Is that this chart here? Jesus Christ, Angela. 40, right, so were you on the futures then? Because my chart doesn't go down to 10s. Maybe you've got a slightly different broker than me, and you've had a little bit of a different stops below the low of the day. Right, so let me know, Angela. Are you on a different platform than me, which means that you got the 10s, or are you on the futures? Yeah, I was looking at this yesterday on the 1 minute time frame, and I was looking at it thinking I would have definitely been in long here at this point on this test. It just looked like it was going to go. I even like how it sort of it looks a bit of like a nice tight sort of consolidation into that level, and then we just burst out. Would I have entered on these ones here though? I don't know, and I might have even been in here on the expansion of this candle, if I'm being completely honest with everybody. I didn't trade that though, and awesome that you've managed to smash that at the low of the day yesterday. I was expecting lower, to be honest with you. Yeah, Dave, that's me. I'm around that area, probably lower at the moment if I checked my current stats. Yeah, Asian bloke, but that's the problem, right? They're not all 6R. They're not, pal. I wish they were. Yeah, it's the risk reward. That's the problem, right? So forget strike rate, forget all that strike rate bullshit. Really, it's your risk reward that pays you. It's your risk reward that pays you. Now, Dave and Mark strike rate's good, right? But it's their risk reward with that strike rate that is paying them, right? So don't get too caught up in strike rate. It's risk reward that makes the money at the end of the month off that strike rate. Because you could have the best strike rate in the world, and with bad risk reward, you could probably still not make any money. Basically, after 800 level held, I wouldn't have been interested in shorts. That would colour my read of yesterday. So were you buying the dip then, Mark? Were you in buying the dip yesterday, like Angela? She uses pivots, DS3 entry. Yeah, Angela, I've seen you on Twitter, by the way, Angela. I think you used to be in like Brannigan Barrett stuff, didn't you, on Aksha? I remember coming across you a long time ago. I've seen you around on Twitter, to be fair. I'm sure that I've been in Brannigan Barrett stuff on Aksha Futures a long time ago, probably about 5 years ago, and I think you were in. I don't know if you were in the room that they were doing. I think Brannigan's a prop trader from Aksha, or Futex. I think he used to be at Futex. So, were you, Angela? Is this the same Angela? If so, give me a thumbs up. This is the problem with risk. It all goes on your personality, doesn't it? Right. So, if you've got a personality where you like to win more, then a higher strike rate can be better and a lower risk reward. As your win rate goes up, your risk reward normally profile gets lower. I don't know many people with a 70 or 80% strike rate who are making like 5 or 6R on each trade. I think they'd probably be the richest person in the world very quickly. So that's something to take into account. You've got to find a win rate, a strike rate, and a risk reward profile that suits your personality as a trader, and also suits your lifestyle, right? Suits your lifestyle. Why didn't you trade that bounce? I know I did. I did spot it. I did. I agree with you. I didn't trade it because it's not. I don't want to keep myself off the 1 minute time frames, dude. I appreciate what you're trying to say. I really do. And looking back, I wished I would have, obviously, right? But I'm trying to keep myself off the 1 minute time frames because I don't want to go down that road again. For me personally, I find my personality isn't good on them. Now, I'm giving you the odd trade that worked that I saw yesterday, but I can't be honest and say like. I can be honest and tell you that if I was on that all day yesterday, I would have taken probably another 10 trades, right? Because I would have been short, long, like. So I'm just cherry picking there the one that I saw that meant that the bottom was in, but that doesn't mean that I could have traded all that on that time frame yesterday and made any money. So do you understand that, your Asian bloke? I'm just trying to be completely honest with you. I'm cherry picking that entry there, but me being on that 1 minute time frame yesterday wouldn't have meant that I might have earned any money. Just trying to be completely honest. Dave, so you're looking for 2 RTPs and you've got a 66%, you've got a 70% strike rate. That's excellent, pal. That is a cash machine there, isn't it? That's very good. Right, so Mark sets his levels and then he waits for the M1 dojis to jump in and take partials early. Yes, indeed, Angela. I thought it was. You studied at Futex, Axia and Amplify. Angela, right, how did you get on in those places? This is interesting, right? Because they're all proper prop firms then. You've got Futex, Axia and Amplify, right? They're all proper, what you'd call proper educators. They have their own prop rooms in London, offices with traders in trading all different types of markets. I think you have to pay a desk fee in there. It's not really any guru stuff. It's not your normal Instagram and YouTube guru stuff that you'd see. So, have you found that you're better for going in there, Angela, and spending that money on going and studying there? I won't go into how much it's cost you or anything like that, but has it made a big difference to your trading? Has being in there added anything at all to your trading? How long have you been trading? And if you're profitable, how long have you been profitable? I'm interested to know. And did Futex, Axia and Amplify add to you being profitable? Were you not profitable before you went to them, and are you profitable now because of them? Or do you think that you probably would have just that your journey would have, you would have been profitable anyway? It might have just been taking you a little bit longer. I'm interested. Right, so yeah, good. Amplify have shot, have they now? The prop side. Oh, right, so yeah, I didn't know that. 5 years, right. I think, Dave. I think any prop firm. I know the ones that we've seen, like where I think where they're all on the dom and stuff like that, and I do think that's a large part of what they do. But I think if you're making money, and like you've got a strike rate of 70%, and you're making 2 to 1 on your trades, and I would suggest that as long as you're making money, they would be interested in giving you capital if you can prove to them that you can make money. I think they probably would be. I don't think that they want like all of that. I think they'll basically have anybody if anybody can prove that they're making money. Prop firms will. I do get that a lot of them, they want them in there on the machines to be pointing and clicking, because some of them run sort of money making sort of round trips and stuff, don't they? So the prop firm themselves will make more money if you're trading more, because they will have in a slice of your desk your order fees and stuff like that. I get that, but I think if you can prove that you're making money, they would, they probably will be interested in you. So maybe that's something you can look at. I don't know if you need capital or not. I don't know. You might have all the capital that you need anyway. But I think if you're making money, they'll take you. Yeah, they do. I actually do that. It's more news and ECB stuff and that, isn't it? Angela, I agree with you. Angela. It's a long, slow process. Gradual, resilience and experience. Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah, so Mikos makes the right point again, like normal. He says that it's if it's scalable or not, right? So is your strategy scalable to the prop firm? Because at the end of the day, if yours isn't, but you're still making money, somebody else's might be, and then they can scale that, can't they? So they're only interested in trying to maximise the maximum profit for their firm. That's it. So you can be a good trader, but if your strategy ain't scalable, they ain't probably looking to take you on. They'll try and get somebody in who's making money, and it is scalable, which will mean that there's more profits for them. So that's a great point. You see, when you've got someone here who's walked the walk, or is walking the walk, they cut to the right points quickly, and Mikos makes the point. That's exactly what it is. Is it scalable? It's all about money, isn't it? Thanks for that point, Mikos. You've learned some valuable stuff from Tom. Forex analytics and my current mentor is 50 pips, right? Angela, do you feel you need a mentor? Is that something that you need in your trading as a retail trader? Do you feel like you need a mentor? I'm not saying that anybody shouldn't get a mentor. I'm just saying, like, you know, do you find that helps you having somebody that you can, does that relationship, somebody that you can lean on? Because I'm pretty sure, right, that Angela, you know, like if you're buying the low of the day yesterday in the DAX, I'm pretty sure that you're a savvy enough trader to be, you know, like making money. But do you feel like you need somebody that you can lean on, like a mentor type figure to sort of help you through periods of drawdown or something? Let me know what it is. I'm interested. It's interesting. I like the conversation this morning. It beats the vaccination conversation anyway. So it's interesting. You never stop learning. See, that's awesome. That's awesome. It's Angela's still on her journey. After going to Axia, Futex, Amplify, Forex Analytics, 50 pips, she's still learning. I suggest that's really good. It speeds up the learning curve. So what's a good month for you then, Angela? If you don't mind pointing out, what's a decent month for you return wise, percentage wise, on your account? Now we won't get into how big your account is, but what's a good month for you? And Mark, what's a good month for you, pal? Let me know on your total account size. What's a decent month? I'm just wondering. And let's get into this, right? Because nobody ever talks about this, do we? We always talk about how much we make or how much percentage it's going up by. What's the drawdown for you guys? What's the biggest drawdown you've been in? I'm interested in this. I asked somebody this yesterday and they didn't answer me. They never got back to me. Just give me a comedy answer back. But you know, like we need to discuss this, don't we? Like, what's a drawdown for people? What's an acceptable drawdown? You know, what's the biggest drawdown that you guys have been in? 20%. Is that right? So let's just break this down. Angela, is that 20% profits per month? That's not the drawdown that I'm asking about because I think you're slightly delayed. So a decent month, Angela makes 20% on her account. That's good. %10 for you, Mark. Okay, so what's the drawdowns then, guys? What's an acceptable drawdown? Because I think the drawdown's more important than the profit, really, for me. If you can't handle your drawdowns, they're always going to come, aren't they? Your drawdowns are always going to be around the corner. It's very easy when you're winning and you're making money to be positive, to think that you're alleged, to think that everything's working. Have we just triggered that stops out there? Yeah. I would probably be long there with a stop underneath that low. Discretionary. Biggest drawdown for you was 30%. Right. See, to come out of that, that's good. That's very good. Average drawdown for me is 100%. Yeah. Average month for you is 10%, Dave. Right, okay. Nick Gordon, 3.6%. Up 3.6 R per month and max drawdown is 14R. Similar figures to me, that is, Nick. That's similar to me, that. It's similar to me. I think my biggest drawdown ever was about 26 or 28%, something like that. But it come quickly back very fast. Like within a week, it was more or less back again, because it tends to be what happens with how I trade. You see me say I can take a lot of won or losing days, and then one day we'll pay for 8 or 9 losers in a row. Biggest drawdown was a margin call. Yeah, me too, pal. So Mikos is looking at getting short oil at 76.40, 50 area. You blew 2 accounts 3 and 4 years ago. Not anymore. Risk management is. It is. So let's just get into that, right? Risk management is the most important thing in trading. It really is. It really is. I've never known anybody who can blow. I've never known anybody blow an account with 1% risk per trade. It's very, very tough to do. It's more or less impossible. If you're going to risk exactly what you'd have to be the literally. I think the odds are way, like the odds of you risking 1% of an account properly, even with a coin toss strategy, you'd be very, very surprised if you went to 0 with it. It doesn't really happen. It's when you're risking too much or when you go on tilt that you end up folding up like a deck chair, and that's what happens the bulk of the time. You move your stop. You think, I don't want to accept this loss. I'm going to move my stop. I think it's going to bounce here, and then it goes down. Right, so that wouldn't have worked. That little punt on the DAX wouldn't have worked. Discretionary, you see. But yeah, so that's it. If you keep your risk right, it's very. I don't see how people blow their accounts if you keep your risk right. I really don't. For me. Let's just have a look, see what's going on the DAX again, guys. Be high. Nothing for me yet. Nope. You were short oil this morning out now at weekly pivot, right? 10% drawdown anymore starts to get emotional. You're Asian bloke. Right though, but what do you do then, Asian bloke? I'm interested in this, right? So your points, you make a good point. 10% drawdown, right? Any more starts to get emotional. But how do we know as traders that we aren't going to go any further than 10% drawdown? Like, you just don't know, do you? And like you say, it gets emotional through that point for you. I would suggest this is how I look at the market. It's whatever you feel uncomfortable with, the market will take you there. So if in your head, right, you are saying to yourself, I don't know if I like any more than 10% drawdown, you can guarantee the market will take you there. In my experience, it always does. So, like this is what I try not to do. I try not to give any sort of like biases like that in my head. Any sort of, if that happens, I wouldn't like this, because normally, right round the corner, it happens. So, and then you set yourself up to be disappointed, don't you, in your head? You're saying to yourself, I don't think I can handle a 10% drawdown. So I can guarantee if you go into a 10% drawdown, your thoughts, your mindset will be, I don't like this. And that's when you start tripping yourself up. You make problems, but we should just accept that could be part of the course. That could just happen at any point, from any point of your. If you start a trading strategy on day one, you could go straight into a 10% drawdown. Hopefully not in the first day, but that first week, that first month, you could just have the loss sequences could just show up. This is what I try not and do. So try not to sort of like box yourself into thinking that any particular number would be bad. I hope that helps. That's how I try and think about it, basically. So I try and never box yourself into a bias. I see it like that, of not particularly liking something if it happens, because you can guarantee it's coming if you say that. Normally happens for me anyway. That's exactly what happens to me. You've stopped trading all this year after an 18% drawdown, which was just after my best month in July. Right. So over that drawdown though, was that what's changed there though? Was that your execution that's wrong? Had you been executing poorly? Or is that just par for the course? As I've said yesterday, right? Yesterday for me is a strategy breaker. I know that most people who were trading a similar way to me yesterday, they're gonna be contemplating whether they even want to do this anymore after yesterday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and yesterday. They're gonna be sat here thinking to themselves, "I'm done with this. This strategy stopped working. It's not working. I need to change. I need to try and preempt the bias. I need to start messing with it. I need to start, I thought the low was in. Why did I not close my trade? Why did I get short again?" All of these things, they're there. They're designed to try and trick you out. Your human mind will try and push you into doing something different. But I know that right after the point that you change all of that, the big one will be right there. I guarantee it. And this is what happens. So Aldershot, let's get back to it. You're trading. If your execution was right, your strategy might just be going through a losing streak. And I find the worst thing you can do is stop. Is stop trading. If you are 100% right and you've backtested your strategy and you've traded, you've got the experience with it, the minute that you stop will be the time that, like, I was having this conversation with Tom when we went for a drink, and it's an interesting one, and we both come to, like, it's obvious, isn't it, that if you've got a profitable trader or a profitable trading strategy, when is the best time to be jumping on that trading strategy, right? If you want to get into the biggest profits the quickest, do you think it's when the trader's hot, or when he's won 5 or 6 on a row? Do you think that that's the time that you should be punting him your money? Or do you think if he's profitable and he's proved it over years, do you think it should be after 4 or 5 losers? I and him both agree that you would probably want to give him your money when he's doing his arse 4 or 5 trades down. If it's proven that he's making money over the long term. Like, so this isn't just something that, this guy has made money for 4 or 5 years. He's going through a rough period, 4 or 5 days, or maybe a week or 2 of losing trades, right? That is when his green period is very closely coming into view. So his hot period after 4 or 5 winners, the losers are getting closer and closer and closer and becoming more of a probability. With every winning trade he takes, if you know his winning sequences and his loss sequences over 1,000 trades, you'd want to back the guy if you knew that once he'd done like 4 or 5 losers, it was highly likely that he was going to come into a win streak. You would suggest that the most intelligent time to give him your money would be as soon as you see him start winning again. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, or if I'm just talking complete rubbish, but we had that conversation, me and Tom did, and that's the conclusion that we come to. A lot of the time people will pull the money at the wrong time, the exact wrong time. Now obviously it's completely different if some guy's just doing his arse and he's risking way too much and he's not got the history to back his results up, and he's just an idiot and he's just punting into stuff with your money and your money's just going do. That's completely different. I'm talking about somebody who's a time-served market, like a trader. They've got the history behind them. They're an absolute ledge. They make money every month or every year. You pull your money after 5 or 6, losses. That would be the most stupid thing you could do, because this guy's a professional. That's the wrong time to be pulling your money. So as long as the execution's perfect and the history backs this guy's stats up, you would want to back him after a losing streak. I would. That's the right time to be giving him the money. But what retail traders would do, right? This is your typical retail trader. After 5 or 6 losses, they jump ship, they change strategy, they try and curve fit stuff to meet what's happening currently, instead of looking at the historical sort of results and thinking that, right, after having a losing streak, I'm way more like this is my green streak's right here, it's coming, I can see it, I can feel it. I need to stay with the course, I need to back myself. There's no perfection out there, there's no perfect strategy. And you end up jumping ship right at the wrong time. And then you end up trading a reversal strategy as the market starts going into an expansionary period. Or So that's what I'm thinking now anyway with what I'm doing. But don't get me wrong, right? All these things go into my head. I think myself I need to get a job yesterday. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I need to go. I need to be looking for a different career. But it'll be fine. I'll be fine, and it'll come back right. And I wouldn't surprise me if at the end of October I'm up higher than where I was. I'd be surprised if I wasn't. That would be the biggest surprise. I've just got to make sure I execute perfectly again. Julia Cordova. I think I've seen her, you know. I think she's on Twitter. Bishu. So let's just get into the comments, guys. And then I'm going to call it a day, by the way, because I'm going to have to keep this one short today. I'll be back on tomorrow, and then I'll do a decent long one on Friday. I just want to point this out right to everybody, because the room's quite full this morning. If you would have traded my Bitcoin strategy, you would have made your 5R. Okay? Let's just get into that. My mechanical Bitcoin strategy, which is free. There is no charge for it. If you would have traded it this month, you would have had one trade so far, and you would have hit 5R. There. Boom. Okay? So let's just get into that again. And I'm going to make it very, very simple to people now. I'll just tell everybody in the room so they're in here. The first of every month, you use it like an opening range. You don't take the first pullback out of the opening range. You take the second one once you've had a decent pullback out of the opening range. If you're above the 200 moving average and you've had a previous red CCI in the pullback sequence, if you take the breakout of the Donchian channel, that's your entry. So if you would have, like on the video as I explained, there's the first high, the high of the first, right? It's this point here. We don't take the first leg out. We get this leg out, we get the pullback. The CCI goes red, and then we get the breakout of the Donchian channel here. We're above the 200 as well. That's ticking up and confirming the trends in the market. Okay, now your entry would have been at 130 in the night, but the mechanical entry give you a 5R winner here. Could you set an alert up to get you out of bed when that Donchian channel gets broken? You definitely could have with TradingView. Same as say that's the mechanical strategy that I have with Bitcoin. Could you have got in the next morning on this one here at 9:30 and taken a very similar entry to this one here and just put your stop at the same place? And I think you would have still made 5R. Definitely could have. So just point that out to everybody. I did put that video on, but I pulled it because, as I told you, I pressed record rather than I pressed live rather than record. So I sat here thinking I was recording an edit for a video, and I was actually recording a live. So I'll put that back up, but I wanted to just make it a little bit better, to be honest with you, and make it a little bit more clearer. Cut a million. Right, Ian. So Ian's saying if it's a drawdown from peak, it's not so bad. 100% up, but 20% drawdown. I'd take that. Yeah, but you can't pick and choose where your drawdowns are going to come, Ian. Like, it doesn't work like that, does it? We all know that. I would take that. You know, I would take 100% up and a 20% drawdown. Who wouldn't take that? We'd all take that. Everybody in this room would snap your hand off for that type of setup. But that's not how it works with trading. It just isn't. You normally draw down at the worst possible point. Yeah, same principle as buying low, selling high. If the bloke is, hey, oh, what's going on here? If the bloke is on a real low, it's time to buy him low. It is if he's got historical data. Yes, it is. I saw somebody's equity sort of balance chart from a long time ago to the current day of professional traders the other day, and let me just tell you, you know, like, it looked really, really good, really good. Like, if that guy went into drawdown, would I back him? Yeah, I probably would, definitely. I'd be buying him all day. I'd be buying the dip. So this is it. This is what you have to realize, that if someone's a ledge and they're making money over every month and every year, don't pull. Don't give up if you're in a drawdown, because normally you give up and the market starts doing what you think. But the execution has to be spot on, obviously. If it's down to poor execution, then stop. That's the point that I'm making. If it's poor execution and you're the one that's the problem, take yourself out of that situation as soon as you possibly can. But if you're not and your execution's right, then just stick with it. Stick with the plan. Trades are up and down. Yeah, I agree, Angela, probably. I definitely agree with Angela's point. What do you think of New Zealand US dollars? I'm short on the H1. Let's have a look. Let's pull it up, Kurt. Let's see what you're up to. Just get rid of these silly indicators. Call them silly, but they are the secret to a lot of traders' woes. Right, I get. Are you short in here then, Kurt? You're thinking that this low here, you're thinking that you're going to come down here and pull these lows in. This is your target. So you're on this one here, are you, Kurt? Getting short in there. Let me know, bro. I know what you're thinking there, actually. Yeah, it could look good, couldn't it? Like if you hit into this level here and that confirms, you could potentially target this low, and this low. Is that your plan? Yeah, it looks like a nice area, that does, Kurt. The daily looks okay. I can see what you're thinking there, dude. Looks good to me, dude. Mainly on the metals, gold, silver and platinum yesterday. Angela sounds like a lead. She's steaming into everything. She's on oil, she's buying the low of the DAX, she's in gold, silver and platinum. I like it. She's a proper trader, eh? Fantastic. Good to see, I love it. She's steaming into everything. Why not, Angela, as well, right? If you can there's no right or wrong way, is there? If you can steam into all them markets and you got a feel for them, then credit to you. It really is. That's fantastic. I think Angela follows me on Twitter, by the way, guys, so you could always have a look at her on Twitter and follow her. She's probably a bit of a ledge, but she doesn't probably know it, if you know what I mean. Probably one of them that's way underfollowed, but is obviously smashing the markets. Now, from what I've seen, the people who are highly followed on Twitter, is it one of them where if you've got like 200,000, 300,000, like Steve Burns, Northman Trader, all them, I would suggest that you're way more better following somebody like Angela, who's actually got skin in the game, trading all these markets, steaming into it. I don't think she's got a massive following. Mark Wogan's another one, no big following. Don't think Dave's got a big following. Now these people are in here and they are trading. I would suggest that if you're following accounts like Steve Burns, who's giving all that stupid crap that he's got no skin in the game. Follow the real guys, the guys who are in the market today, sweat and tears, the highs and lows of it. You'll probably learn more a lot faster if you're looking to learn anyway. Sierra's another one. Follow him, he's a good guy. Angela, I only follow people that lose and claim to win. Yes, me too. I don't. There's a few on mine, but the crypto ones kill me. The big crypto accounts are awful. They're just shilling everybody. That's all they're trying to do. I flipped a coin and brought DAX at 14,830. Would love to stay. I'm still long. Are you then? Are you, Phil? Did you buy it? If you're still long, that's awesome. I feel like an idiot, to be fair. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like an absolute idiot yesterday. But do you know what, guys? Right? There is so many, like, there's so many times where this rolls over. It's the day type that caught me out. I'm just looking at it thinking that this leg here is an impulsive leg, right? And I'm thinking that this pullback here, can you see what I'm thinking? Now, I was wrong, obviously, but I'm thinking that this leg here is going to go like this. You take that, and it's going to go like that. You can clearly see what I'm thinking. I wasn't just punting, right? I had a context set up in my head, and it just didn't work out yesterday. But all you guys that have brought the dip are making me think that I'm an idiot. I'm inadequate. So it's one of them. I'm glad that you all made money, but you took my money yesterday. You lot did. I'm not happy about it. You can see what I'm thinking though, can't you? I'm thinking that this is an impulsive leg. This pullback here, although it's a big pullback, it didn't strike me as like being dead aggressive. And then especially in here, I'm thinking we're definitely gonna go. We're gonna go. And we didn't. We stopped me out. So fair play to you though. Enjoy that money. Why it lasts in your account, but I'm taking it back very shortly, okay? I follow anyone that has cars and jet skis. That's no, that's that guy off YouTube, isn't it? My account is still positive, so that's good. Dave, I've got £7. £7.11. Balling. I'm gonna call it here though, guys. Need to go and do a few things today, and we're bang in the middle of balance. So I prefer to have a long one on Friday if possible, and go over the week. But I can afford a subway. But thank you for all stopping in, right? I appreciate it, and I'm glad. Do you know what? I would be feeling like shit now this morning in the normal world if I hadn't have jumped on here. So this is probably a big positive for me. I'm glad that all of you guys are in here. To be fair, sometimes just being honest about it and talking to people, because obviously, you know, like I haven't really got anybody who I can talk to. My wife sort of listens to me, but she doesn't really understand anything that I'm talking about. And I don't really have anybody that I can sort of talk to about when you're having a drawdown, or how shit you're being, or you know, like how things aren't going right. And you feel like a freaking idiot, don't you, when you're talking to people who are doing well. And you know, I appreciate, like, it's nice to see that Angela and Mark and Dave and that have done well yesterday. But then it's also nice to see other people who are in the same sort of in the same sequence as me, who aren't doing so well. So it's good to see both sides of the coin. It really is, and this is exactly why I've done it. So I'm pleased. I'm pleased for everybody. So if you did well yesterday, brilliant. If you didn't, soak it up like me, guys. We'll be back. We will do it again another day. We'll get these losses back, all right. But yeah. So thanks for stopping by, right? Honest conversation, fantastic, exactly, positive. Bit of positivity, and I feel good for it, I really do. I was depressed last night, but it's done me good coming on here, so I appreciate everybody taking the time to stop in. It's brilliant. I'm going to go now, Sierra, but yeah. But follow these guys. If you're on Twitter and you're not following these guys are trading. They really are. You know, they're in the markets, guys. So if you don't follow them, follow each other. It's a good community that we've got here, and we should. The thing that I don't want to do about a Discord room is I don't want it to come across as like shilly or scammy or anything like that. So I am thinking about doing one, and it will be free, but I just don't want it to be. I think you can go too deep down the rabbit hole with it, can't you? But I'm thinking about doing one. It will be free though. There'll be no scammy or anything like that with it. But yeah, so and it's how do you police it? You know, you're getting other people in it that you might not know, and I think we've got a pretty decent little community here. So have a good day. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with a profit. Hopefully not beneath 3K, but I'll leave it there. Yeah. Thanks for stopping in, and have a good day, everybody.